Hello, so welcome to part 3 of what I think about the Rokka korpisoturi knife. If you haven't seen part 1 and 2, then just go where I go over a few bits, and then in part 2 I'll give this a quick demo of everything that I've been doing with it pretty much for the past 3 weeks. I'll just do a quick demo of it. So gives you a general idea. Obviously, like I say, I've been testing this for 3 weeks, so I know its capabilities. But so obviously in part 2 I'll just give you just a quick example of what it's good at, what it's not good at, and things like that. So this is the last part. This is basically what I think. Okay, so for the past 3 weeks I've been carrying this. I have carried other knives as well, but I've been carrying this. I've mostly, about 95%, been using this for the past 3 weeks as a neck knife. If you've not seen part 1 and 2, then just watch that so you know what I'm on about. So yeah, just like this, been carrying it. So what do I think? Okay, so let's start with the sheath. Okay, so the pros and cons of the sheath. Okay, so let's put this down. Okay, sheath, very well made, very solid. It's UV resistant, water resistant, etc. Pretty much bomb proof. Retains the knife very well, which I showed you in part 1, I think. Just click. Probably does. Sometimes it clicks, sometimes it doesn't. No, but it retains the knife very, very well, because obviously this knife is designed to go upside. It's primarily a not just a bushcraft knife, but I believe they made it for as a military kind of small military puko as well. That might explain the glass breaker that they put on it. I'm not too sure, but it's definitely got some sort of military heritage to it because of the overall design on it as well. Now you can, my older 80 CRV2 knife did have an attachment, a belt attachment. See the 3 holes there, so you can actually put this on the belt. But if you want to carry this on the belt, I would not use this sheath, because when you've put the clip on here and then you put it on your belt, this rides up very, very high. I mean, you can see how high that comes out in the sheath, and when that's on the belt it comes right up to the side, your side here. And because you've got this pommel here, this sharp pommel, sometimes when you're sitting down, standing back up again, or you're bending down doing things, sometimes this can dig into your side because it's so high up. So for all intents and purposes, although you can get a belt attachment for this, which I think mine came with it, I can't remember, but I think I prefer to carry this around my neck, not on my belt. So if you're carrying it on your belt, you definitely probably need another sheath. Either make one yourself or get somebody to make a Kydex sheath. So the pros, the sheath is very, very well made. Can withstand pretty much anything. That's what they designed it for. Again, I don't know in the material. It's some kind of recycled composite material, which is incredibly strong. Very, very thick, very tough, very strong. Retains the knife exceptionally well. So no complaints about the sheath at all, apart from when you get the belt clip for this, you might not like it very much. I do apologise about the sun glare. Try and put it there, less glare. So yeah, that's the sheath. Blade. What can I say about this? Absolutely amazing, fantastic. You know, kind of blown away with it, to be fair. I remember I did like the earlier version, the 80 CRV2. which I regretted selling. So I was obviously, if you've not seen part one, watch part one. And that was a really good knife. And in my opinion, I think this is probably the better steel. I don't normally say that because 80 CRV2 carbon steel is one of my favourite steels. It's tough, it takes a great edge, and I'm a sucker for a Puko knife. I like my traditional finished Pukos, and most Pukos these days are made out of 80 CRV2 steel, so that's probably why I've got a soft spot for 80 CRV2. But this is N690 stainless. So as a full package, you're getting a stainless steel that is not going to rust, nowhere near as bad as the 80 CRV2 will. You've got a pretty much bomb-proof sheath that is also waterproof and rot resistant, UV protected and all that kind of stuff. You've got a handle that's, again, doesn't require no maintenance at all. Maybe the occasional wipe it down if it gets dirty, but that's about it. It doesn't need to be treated. Again, it's waterproof, body blower. So really, you've got a bushcraft knife here that hardly ever needs any maintenance at all. Obviously I look after more of my knives anyway, so occasionally I'll strop it, oil it and put it away. I do that with every single knife. But if you're not obsessive like me, then you can leave this for a few weeks or even a few months, and not actually worry about it. You know, strop it now and again and not really worry about it. It's, you know, it's not going to go rusty straight away unless you're anywhere near like water, like seaside, salt water. But then again, it'll still take time to rust. So bomb-proof steel, really good steel, takes a really good edge, incredibly strong. The rhombic Scandi, you know, what can I say? I mean, the rhombic Scandi is just amazing. But like I say, I've used rhombic Scandis before. A lot of Pukos that I've owned in the past have rhombic Scandis, and they really excel in like bushcraft tasks, whittling, notching, feather sticking. They excel in all them tasks. And as if you've seen part two, you've seen me give it a bit of stick. So you've seen me baton with it. You've seen me even use it to chop, which I don't recommend because this is, you know, there's going to be something wrong if this is the only knife you bought with you and you need to chop with it, if you've got no axe or bigger blade. But I did it just as a demonstration, just to test the edge for you guys, to see what it can take. And there was no blemishes, nothing on the edge, nothing at all to be concerned about at all. So yeah, very good steel, very sharp steel, easy to maintain. It's not going to rust on you straight away unless you do something really daft to it, like leave it into the elements. So yeah, all in all, very good knife. The handle's amazing. I forgot how good these handles on these Rokkas are. Very grippy, very comfortable. As far as rubberized handles, and believe me, I'm not one for rubberized handles or anything like that normally. There's probably one of the most comfortable. You know, it's not too sharp. There's no sharp edges. Very grippy. Very comfortable. And lastly, I've been using this for 3 weeks and I've had 0 hot spots. The only time I got a hot spot is when I demonstrated the chopping tasks, because I have to hold it right here. Now, although this has got slightly long handle actually for a small knife, even though it's got this kind of swell bit, this kind of beak swell here, so you can use it for chopping. If you're going to be using it for chopping all the time, then this is not a knife that you can chop with. Nothing to do with the steel, it's just the ergonomics is, and because this weighs next to nothing, unless you're chopping something that's an inch thick, then this can do it all day long. But anything thicker than that, like your wrist, then no, I wouldn't use this as a primary blade to do that. It is uncomfortable when you're doing this, and to chop with, that's the only place you can hold it really, where you're going to get enough leverage to chop with like that. So you'd have to hold it there, so because all the weight needs to be there. So that's the only way you're going to get any leverage. But to do any light chopping, like if you need to delimb something, then yeah, this is perfect. So just get your stick, delimb, quick tap, flick of the wrist, and it'll do it. But it'll do big chopping as well, but that's not the primary function of this. And sometimes you get people like, well, it's not a very good chopper, and it's like, well, what do you expect? It's a 4-inch blade. What do you expect? It's not going to chop a tree down with a 4-inch blade, are you? So, but for bushcraft, genuine bushcraft, carving, whittling, even splitting, as long as it's not thicker than your wrist to a certain degree. But I've got no problems with this steel at all, unless you're doing something very, very stupid, which a lot of people do to test knives. There's no reason why this blade should snap. Like I say, it's N690 stainless steel. It's 5mm thick. So if you snap this, then then obviously you're mistreating a knife. Use the knife as intended. So don't go around stabbing cars and hitting bricks and all the things that Joe X does. But nothing to do with, not putting down Joe X. I actually like his channel, but his channel is purely to abuse, and his mission is to break knives. My mission is not to break a knife. My mission is to see if a knife's any good for bushcraft, and a few heavy duty tasks, but not hitting bricks. I don't feel a need to hit a brick or anything like that in the middle of a wood. Why would I want to hit a brick for? I don't know, but yeah, for bushcraft knife, yeah, this definitely 100% excels at bushcraft. There's no doubt about that. Very comfortable, very good steel, very easy to maintain, very, very sharp, even after I've done all them tasks. And I spent 3 weeks with this knife, and in the 3 weeks, I've probably only had to strop it twice. But that's for my own peace of mind, not because this knife was dull, because it wasn't. Even after 2 or 3 weeks, the edge didn't get dull at all. So yeah, that's for my own peace of mind. Now and again, I'll give it a quick strop, and like same as today, because I've been doing some batoning and a bit of chopping just purely for this video. I'd probably just give it a few strikes, a few strops either side, and then that's it, just to touch it up, and then that's it. But obviously it does not need it at all. It's still razor sharp, but again, that's for my own peace of mind. So the pros then, there's not many, but the pros are only going to be because of my opinion of what I see or want in a bushcraft knife. Your opinion might be different. You might want it to do different tasks with it, I don't know. But pros then, purely for taking it in the woods like today, for doing a bit of bushcraft whittling or whatever. So the cons for me is, this is for bushcraft, this is for me, this is too sharp. I don't plan on breaking the car window in the middle of a wood, so this is too sharp. It needs grinding down for me. Doesn't really need to be there, to be honest with you. So yeah, it might be something that I look into, probably just blunt that bit, so it's less sharp. So that's one con. Another con is obviously, again, I think it's kind of a negative, but not, is obviously when you're doing the light chopping, this can do it, and obviously I prove that it does do it, but normally I wouldn't use this for chopping because it's a 4-inch blade. There's not a lot of chopping you're going to be doing with a knife like this. So, but a negative for me is if you wanted an all-round bushcraft knife that you wanted to do some light chopping with, I have got blades for that, then this knife probably could have done with being a little bit heavier. This is far too light to chop with. So like a Puko, you'd have to hold it back here, which I demonstrated. Even doing that, you're just relying on that grind. It's the grinds that's the saving grace of the chopping, because this grind is actually quite good for chopping. If this bevel was any lower, then this would be absolutely no good for chopping at all. But like I said, you know, why would you be wanting to chop with a knife that's 4 inches? I don't know, but just in case you did, this is not the knife for it. Deliming, yeah, it's fine, but if you wanted to do chopping a few logs, then no, it's not the knife for that. It's far too light for that. The handle's far too it's not ergonomic enough to get a comfortable chop out of this, not without having hot spots on your hands because of this bit here, because of this pommel. You know, it's just not designed for that. So so that's negative number 2. Con number 3, although I do like the sheath for any intended purposes, I think if you was to use this as a neck knife, the sheath probably could do with being a little bit more lightweight, maybe a leather sheath, maybe a Kydex sheath, rather than this. This is kind of too heavy to put around your neck, I think, in my opinion. And if you get, I think you usually do with these knives when you buy, I think you usually do buy the clip. I can't remember. I can remember having a clip with my old one, but if you do want this with the clip onto your belt, you're probably not going to like that either, because this rides too far up your belt, too far up your body. So I might actually get a clip just to show you, I don't know, but at some stage I probably will be making a new sheath for this, so that I can put it both on my belt and around my neck as well. But primarily it's going to be around my neck anyway, so I might make some sort of leather sheath. It might not be as a good a retainer as this is, but that's probably one con. But all the cons with this knife is what I think, what I want, what I require in a bushcraft knife, and it's not really a massive problem, because everything else is pretty much pros. This excels at bushcraft. Very comfortable to use, sharp out the razor sharp out the box. It's very rarely that you get a retail knife that's it's pretty much as sharp as this. Although I didn't buy this from retail, it came straight from a retail shop, and I got it in the tray. The guy never used it, so yeah, it's pretty much brand new when I got it. But yeah, it came deadly sharp, really sharp. Even looks sharp. You look at it and you know straight away with that grind that it's not going to mess about. So if you slip with this, that's your finger gone. That's how sharp it is, wickedly sharp. So yeah, sheath's good, retention's good, steel is excellent, the edge geometry is superb. So probably more pros than cons. Like I say, the cons is more of ergonomics of what if you're going to be using it for something else like light chopping and sheath. If you're having the sheath mounted on your belt with the belt clip, you're not going to like it on your belt at all, because it just rides up way too high for me. So when you draw the sheath on your belt, your hand comes right up here to get it off. So that's why I use it to put around my neck, and because it's kind of a military style blade, it looks military, looks tactical, it's not going to fall out because obviously these things are designed to be upside down. If you want to lash it to your body armor or whatever, if you use it in the military. So yeah, once that's in, it's never coming out. The retention is brilliant. It is amazing retention in this. Over the long run, I don't know, because over the long run, when you've got plastic and rubber, and as the rubber over the years, of the months and years of using, the more you use it, obviously what I've found in rubber handles is that the rubber handles tends to wear away a bit. So in the long run, I don't know if the retention is going to be still there in maybe a few months time, a year's time, I don't know. I might come back to this in a year's time, see if the retention is still there, but at the minute it seems to be really good. The snap's there, definitely not coming anywhere. You'll never drop this. So yeah, very good quality. Another con, although it's actually not really got anything to do with the quality of the knife, it's getting hold of one. Now this is still in production, it's not discontinued. The old model, the 80CR V2, has been discontinued for a while now, so fingers crossed. I'm hoping that they still going to put these in production and not phase them out like the 80CR V2. If I hear a rumour that this is going to be out of production, then I probably will be buying another one, just as a backup, because these are really worth the money. So the con is, I live in the UK, and you can't get these in the UK. I was lucky to find this in the UK from somebody that was from a trader that was selling it. So I got this by chance, and the only place that I know of that do deliver to the UK is Lamnia, and it's spelled Lamnia, Lamnia, I think that's pronounced. And I've used them quite a lot in the past. I've bought quite a few knives off them. Now again, it will be more expensive because obviously because of Brexit and all that kind of stuff. So the tax and customs and things like that. So there will be tax on top of that as well. So to buy this, you probably and because of the tax as well, Lamnia doesn't deliver to the UK free of charge unless I think the limit is £135. Otherwise you'd be paying ridiculous tax, and so because of that I think that's going to put most people off. But if you've got the money and you want a really good knife, even tactical kind of Puko, then yeah, I would definitely highly recommend getting this. Definitely. I think if I ever sold this like I did with the 80CR V2, I think I would live to regret it, and I'd probably end up buying another one. I'm looking out for another one. Yeah, so this is a keeper for sure. It's definitely a keeper, this one. So I'm not going to be stupid and sell it. It's definitely a keeper. Love it. Brilliant. Thought I heard somebody coming then, but I think it's a squirrel. So I'm going to get some dinner now. Thanks for watching. Sorry about me waffling on, but you know, as well as I do, is when I do a full review, I do a full review. It ends up being part 1, 2, 3. But to get my point across and to go through everything, my pros, my cons, do a quick demo of what it's capable of, what it's made of, and things like that, then you know I can't put that into one half-an-hour video for me. If you want to review, for me, if I want to review something properly, it's normally more than one part. So you know, and by part 3 I have people actually falling asleep. But yeah, so thanks for watching, and yeah, I would look at this knife. If you're in the UK, then the only place that I know of is Lamnia, and they are a good company to deal with, dealt with in the past. still deal with them. So yeah, highly recommend this. This is the Rokka korpisoturi, and this is me, Lone Wanderer, signing off. Stay tuned for more bushcraft and reviews in the upcoming future. Bye bye for now. Bye bye.